Hi everybody, my name is Kaylee and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Alright everybody, so it is currently 6:02 in the morning. Guys, I have been filming content for you guys for so long now. I've been up for over 18 hours, but I have today's story time already for you guys. By the way, I'm going to ask one more time, do you guys want me to film my Florida vlog? If you do, drop a comment down below, sis. Also, my boyfriend and I have started a YouTube channel. Our first YouTube video should be out within the next 2 days. If you guys want to go and subscribe to that, click the link down below. The last video that was just posted, this is being filmed like maybe 2 hours after that because I had to let my camera's battery charge and I was like, okay, well, I leave tomorrow. I literally need to get this done today. So I have no updates for you guys for this intro, but before we get into this video, a word from our sponsor. So before we get into this story time, I would like to give a big shout out to Keen for sponsoring today's video. Now, if you don't know what Keen is, Keen provides access to vetted psychics and spiritual advisors who can provide insight on life's challenges, pretty much, like clarity in love, relationships, careers, and many more. So I actually want to talk to you guys about my experience with Keen. So I had talked with a woman named Miss Beverly, and we actually talked about my career and very big life changes that are coming up. I had told her about how I was moving to Florida and how I was really scared, and she was actually able to give me some amazing insight on everything that I've been having anxiety about. Like, I'm a very anxious person and I'm very OCD. What that means is everything has to go a certain way or else I will get anxiety. If something is not done the way I want it to be done, or it's just not planned in any specific order, or anything gets messed up, I will go insane. That's not even a joke. But talking to Miss Beverly actually had helped my anxiety a lot. You know, she said that you seem like a very independent woman, your career seems like it's taking off, and it seems like you're doing the best thing for your career right now, which I completely am. And sometimes I think I forget those things, that, you know, I am a very independent person. Like, I'm one of those people, if I'm going through a hard time in life, I will not tell anybody because I want to figure it out myself and I just want to make everybody proud around me. But as a new Keen customer, I was able to get my first 10 minutes for only $1.99. After the first 10 minutes, pricing depends on the advisor's price per minute. Also, every week, Keen will send you discounts for readings to make it cheaper than it already was. And all of their services are backed with a satisfaction guarantee, which might I say we love. But also the thing that I love is once you talk to an advisor, you can keep calling them and you're able to grow a relationship with them, which can lead to a lot of benefits because I feel like once they know you better, they're going to be able to give you better insight about the challenges that you're facing. Keen advisors are available 24/7. There's always going to be somebody available, and you can even schedule appointments on there. So I will have a link down below in the description if you guys would like to get your first 10 minutes on Keen for $1.99. And if you guys do decide to try Keen, I would love to hear your experience down in the comments. Okay, let's get back to today's story time. I'm going to bring you guys up close. There we go. Alright, so before we get into this story time, for most of the video I will be looking in this direction because my mirror is over here and I would like to see what I'm doing. Next, these stories are sent in from an anonymous users. Also, give me a break if I blank out because, sis, I've been up for a very long time and I drank a lot of coffee before this, so. Also, I do tell these story times in a first person point of view. If you don't like that, then leave.
Please, I can't live like this anymore. Then leave.
Peace out.
Respectfully. See, this is why I cannot be up. Alright, while I'm pulling my hair up though, I am getting my new porcelain Emax veneers whenever I go down to Florida. I'm super excited. By the way, guys, if you want to like keep up with me and know where I am in Florida, say if you live in Florida or something like that, you know, and like maybe you want to see me while I'm down there, go follow my other social medias because I'll be telling you guys where I am and stuff like that. So yeah. Okay, story time about how my boyfriend found out that I was cheating on him with his best friend. That was a long title. I love that. You can see the sun rising behind me. Says, should I open the curtains some more? I think I should. Beautiful.
Who's gonna tell her that it didn't make a fucking difference?
So, a little background information. I was 15 whenever this all happened, and I was dating this kid who we are going to call Tyler. We had been dating since I was 13 and he was 16. It is now my freshman year and he is a senior. And we are going to call his best friend Jayden. So, Jayden and Tyler have been best friends since they were probably in preschool. And I had met Jayden through Tyler. Like, I had never even knew the kid existed before Tyler introduced us. Now, there was a little issue in our relationship. Jayden never left Tyler's side. When Tyler and I would go on dates, guess who would be there? Jayden. When I would invite Tyler over my house, Jayden got an invite also. When I went over Tyler's house, Jayden would be there. Literally everything we did involved Jayden. Like, I literally could not get a break from this kid at all. And I had talked to Tyler about it multiple times, and his response was always, well, what am I gonna do? Not invite my best friend? Like, when Tyler and I were doing freaky shit, he would make Jayden sit outside the room and wait until we were done. Well, the one day we were all at my house and Tyler got a call from his mother and she had told him that his brother passed away. So immediately Tyler got up, he had to leave, completely understandable. So he told Jayden that he would have to find a ride home, and if he couldn't, to just ask my parents. They're cool. Are they really though? No. Half the time the boys wouldn't even be there unless my parents were at work. And by the way, Jayden and I had never been left alone together. I don't think it was necessarily that Tyler didn't trust us. I think it was more of just like there was never a reason for us to be alone. Like, any time that I would hang out with Tyler, Jayden would just be there. There was never like any communication between Jayden and I or anything like that. Well, my parents weren't going to be home for at least another 3 or 4 hours, and I could have ordered him an Uber right away, but I really did not want to pay for this kid's Uber. Like, your girl had $50 in her account. She was not about to spend $30 to take this kid to wherever the hell he lived. So pretty much the rest of the time, Jayden and I just played video games and watched movies. While we were watching movies, we both were sitting on opposite sides of the couch because there was no reason for us to get close to each other. But my parents always kept our house really cold, and there was one blanket on the couch. So I grabbed it and I used it. And then Jayden said that he was really cold, so I went to just give him my blanket and I was just gonna go grab another one, but he was like, oh, you don't have to grab another one, like, we can just share. Sis. Now, I did not think anything of that because Jayden and Tyler had been best friends for so long. Did I really think that he was gonna do that to his homie? No, I didn't. I really didn't. So I went and sat next to him and we both shared the same blanket. Nothing special. And there were still a few inches in between us until Jayden goes, wow, you're really warm. And scoots next to me. Like, he closed the gap up. So now I'm feeling awkward as hell, but I'm still feeling like he's not gonna do anything. What's it like being fucking blind? So then he puts his arm around me and brings me in closer to the point where now we're snuggling. And then with his other hand, he reaches it over and puts it on my inner thigh. So I was not having it. I got up and I was like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, but you can't tell Tyler. And I'm like, what is it? Like, what? And he goes, no, you have to promise you won't tell Tyler. So I told him that I promise I won't tell Tyler. And then he has the audacity to say that he likes me. Sis, your best friend's brother just died like 2 minutes ago. Make it make sense. And also, the only reason why he hangs out with Tyler and I all the time is because he wants to see me. That's just creepy. So after that, your girl didn't care that she was about to be broke after this. I called him an Uber home. I was not dealing with it. I was like, yeah, you should probably wait outside. Like, the Uber's gonna be here. You're weird. Get out. So that night I got a call from Tyler and he was telling me about how horrible his day had been. And I decided not to tell him about what Jayden said earlier just because of the fact that he did not need to think about that while he already had so much on his mind. Like, I just feel like that would not have been right of me to do, to cause issues between him and his best friend while his brother had just passed away. So after that, the next few days, it was just me and Tyler hanging out. And it wasn't even like I was the one who suggested it. He just said that he wanted to spend time with me and he realizes how important our time is together and how precious it is. And I was not complaining. Like, finally, this is what it took for you to realize after 3 years. Whatever. Well, after Tyler went home that day, I was laying in my bed and I get a text from Jayden asking if he can come over so we can talk. And I didn't answer him until the next day while Tyler was at his brother's funeral. I was like, yeah, you can come over now. I decided not to go to the funeral with Tyler because he just really needed to be with his family right now and I just didn't want to see him like that. So he came over and he's like, you didn't tell Tyler, did you? And I'm like, no. And this kid has the audacity to say, oh, because you feel the same way that I do. I'm like, hold on a minute. Pump your brakes, kid. No. And he was like, oh, well, like, why else wouldn't you have told him? Like, this kid wanted me to out him. So I told him because clearly Tyler is going through a rough time and he does not need that in his life right now. Like, why would you want to start stuff and make your best friend feel worse than he already does? So then, out of nowhere, Jayden kisses me right on the lips. Right on the lips. You know, here I am talking shit on Jayden, but I didn't stop him after that. I kind of just let him keep doing his thing, and one thing led to another, and we ended up doing the nasty. Yeah. While my boyfriend of 3 years was at his brother's funeral. What do I have to say for myself? I don't know yet. I don't know. Well, the next day, Tyler and I spent the day together, and y'all, I felt so bad. He was saying how he was so happy that he had me to get him through this really hard time, and that if he didn't have me, he does not know what he would have done. I am a terrible girlfriend. That is the conclusion that I've come to. You guys hear that? I should be waking up right now. Anyways, one thing that Tyler did not know is that after he was going to leave my house that day, Jayden was coming over. So Tyler went home and Jayden came over my house. So the plan was for Jayden to sleep over my house that night, and when he came over, he brought condoms, which I had actually told him to, so I don't know why I'm acting surprised right now. And the next day, whenever Tyler came over to my house, I forgot to clean up the night before because I am dumb. There's no other explanation for it other than that. Well, when he gets upstairs, he's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And when I walk into my room, I see that the condoms are laying out right on my nightstand. That didn't have as loud as a dramatic effect that I was looking for. Oh well. So while he was in the bathroom, I was praying that he had to take a fat shit so that way I had time to clean everything up. Well, before he got back from the bathroom, I had time to clean up the open wrappers, which, to be honest, as long as I got those out of the way, I was fine. Whenever he came into the room, I acted completely normal about the ones that were just kind of laying out. And then he got a little suspicious. He was like, why do you have these? So I was like, OMG, like, I wanted it to be a surprise. I asked my dad if he could buy me some or give me some for me and you. Now, Tyler was looking at me like I was insane because he knew how strict my parents were. And he was like, OMG, they were okay with you asking? Well, Tyler, to be honest, I don't know. I didn't really ask them. And I was like, yeah, no, they were just happy that I had came to them and told them that I was ready to be sexually active. And he was like, oh, that's awesome. And I was like, yeah, you just can't mention it though because I'll get in trouble if you do. He was like, well, why would you get in trouble? And I was like, well, they don't want to actually know if I'm sexually active. They just want to make sure that I'm using protection. Duh. And he was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Now, thank God he was not the smartest of the bunch because I would have been toast. And if I didn't say it earlier, Tyler and I, we had experimented, but we never actually did the deed, if you know what I mean. So even though Tyler ended up believing me, I did the nasty with him that day just to kind of reassure him some more. Well, that night, Tyler had went to Ohio to visit some family who was not able to make it to his brother's funeral, and he did not know when he was coming back, but he said that he would text me when he found out. So pretty much that whole time I ended up hanging out with Jayden, and we were pretty much just hanging out over my house because one, if anybody saw me hanging out with Jayden and acting like a couple with him, they would immediately text Tyler. And his household was just very toxic also. So yeah, we would stay at my house, play video games, watch movies, and that's pretty much it. Well, the one day Jayden and I were up in my bedroom and my parents were at work at this time, and Tyler had still never texted me saying when he was going to be home, and it was not like Tyler to just show up to my house unannounced. Well, my front door had a passcode on it where if you type the passcode in, the door would just unlock itself. And of course, Tyler and I being together for 3 years, I gave him the code so that way he could just come in and meet me inside. Well, I guess that day, at that time, Tyler decided that he wanted to come home and surprise me. We didn't even hear the footsteps coming up the stairs, to be honest, because I had 2 loud, fat, obnoxious dogs. Well, all of a sudden, Jayden and I hear the door open and we both look over, and it is my boyfriend and his best friend, you know, the same person, standing in the doorway with a bouquet of flowers and a heart-shaped chocolate box, which he stands there for a few seconds and then proceeds to throw it at us. Yeah, we were in the middle of doing spicy things, and he walked out the door. Now, I hurry up and I put on my clothes like I was going after my man slash Jayden's best friend. And then he goes, "Wow, you're really gonna go after him?" Sis, I take pride in this moment. I turned my ass around and I said, "Jayden, do you not get it? You're literally my side piece. Like, you come over when he's not here. You come after him, not the other way around, sis." So after I got that whole spiel out of my system, I run out the door to go and catch my man, and by the time I get outside, he is all the way down the road at the stop sign ready to leave. The next day, my parents had found out about what happened because Tyler's whole family was posting stuff about me on Facebook, pretty much saying that I was a whore, a slut, I probably have STDs. Yeah, just a really bunch of horrible things about me. Okay, everybody, so thank you for tuning into today's story time. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of me, maybe hit that subscribe button down below. And if you would like to send in your anonymous story time, also click the link down below, and make sure to follow all of my social medias to see if your story time was posted either on my TikTok or YouTube. Also, my posting schedule has been really whack lately, so if you guys want to know when I post my next video, make sure to click that post notifications button, and I will see you guys next time. Love you guys.